Hello there and welcome to Racehorse Movies, the show where two film fans take a racing sheet from last week, pick a random horse name for each other, and from that name pitch a movie. In the pitch, to flesh out our movie ideas, we may include such things as stars, directors, composers, best boys, and stable boys. Maybe not that last one. Hoping none of our ideas have to be put behind a screen and shot. The sky's the limit, the horses are on the starting line, the jockeys are frothing. It's time for Racehorse Movies.
Hello there, everyone, and welcome to the Mine Cinema. Graham, stop, keep it down. I can't help it. We're all very excited. We shouldn't be here. We know we shouldn't. Okay, I think I can hear Lloyd walking away now. Okay, we can raise our voices a little. Right, sorry about that, guys. Obviously, we're not really meant to be here. We have clearly snuck inside the Mine Cinema. Nothing's showing, but we just couldn't resist coming back to say one more hello, goodbye to you guys. So for episode, a sneaky little, very whispery ASMR almost. Oh my goodness me! Time for sleep, everyone. Night. Listen to me stroke my comb.
I'm so glad you said comb.
I know, I'm sorry, that got close. That got into Bernie's little swimmer's levels of danger there, man. So yeah, hey, everyone, welcome back. This is just a little 12.5 to round off season 1. I am still Luke Searle, and I am joined by the ever-lovely, the very quiet tippy toes, Mr. Graham Thomas.
Hello, everybody.
That was really scary.
That was really scary, wasn't it?
Yeah, Graham's travelled through the Blumhouse universe to come to you this evening.
Hello, everybody.
He's dressed like the nun. How you doing, my man? You well?
I'm good. I'm not sure if I could sustain an entire episode speaking in whispers, so I think my voice will handle it.
No. Good God, no. I'm not going to commit to our world that much, Graham. I'm about a 2-minute guy, you know? So, here we are again. We're going to sort of go through maybe a couple of alternate pitches, alternate ideas that we didn't previously put in some of our episodes that we had to cut because we just had... Our pitches were just too epic to leave them in. And that's not a problem at all. We'll probably talk maybe about a couple of things we might have watched, have a little general catch-up wrap-up, say some much meant and much needed thank yous, and then we're going to get the heck out of this cinema before we are discovered, because we're doing this all by torchlight, guys. This is really hard to manoeuvre ourselves. Graham may or may not be sat next to me. It might be Lloyd. He smells a bit of cigarettes. I'm not sure what's going on. So yeah, that's our plan. That's our mission statement for episode 12.5. Are you in, Graham?
I'm in, 100%.
Stupendous.
So let's do it. So I guess before we get into any other bits and bobs that we might want to talk about just as a wrap-up, let's wrap up what you've been doing over the last week. How are you?
I'm good. I've been preparing myself for a nice little late-in-the-year holiday over to Naples, which I'm very much looking forward to. I've been painting a Maggotkin of Nurgle, Lord of Blights figure from Warhammer, so I've been in my absolute nerdy element, man. It's been delightful.
You're really hoping Henry Cavill's listening to this,
so that he gets a touch. Oh my God.
Henry, if you're out there, it's Racehorse Movies at TheNeverPress.com.
Like, I'm sure at some point in maybe next season, maybe the season after, we will be pitching some kind of a Warhammer idea, because we've talked about it before in the past. So to try and vanquish some of that energy, I've been putting that into painting.
That's a one-shot idea right there. It's
Absolutely.
The Henry Cavill love letter kind of skywriting episode where we just have to pitch a Warhammer from the hope that he will pick it up.
And just cocks one of his arms in approval. That's all I want.
Yes.
It's just that even a half cock would be more than enough, man. I'd melt. So that's been going really well. Really enjoyed doing that. I'm kind of comes in swings and roundabouts when I feel inspired to do something like that. But I'm in the zone at the minute and loving it, man.
Does that provide you much needed kind of respite from the franticness of the waking world? You kind of zone out when you do it and just kind of concentrate on it. Yeah.
It's it's one of the few activities I find myself doing with my tongue out. That's a strange sentence, but you know what exactly I mean. It's got that level of I fall into what I'm doing, and then it can be like an hour and a half later, I'll sort of like go, I haven't breathed in about 25 minutes, and and what's happening? Like I just get lost in it. So yeah, it's quite meditative.
I get that. with Airfix kits. For me, I haven't done it for a very long time because there's not much space in my house, and my housemate's quite sensitive to the fumes of the
Graham's just got like an industrial paint section. It's like blue
Just
collar.
not allowed to do it because the hazmat suits get expensive. But I find it almost like the quickest route back to childhood in a Proustian way. Like the smell of the paints, it just takes you back there.
Yeah.
So at the minute I do Lego, quite a lot of that. But I find a similar kind of thing. It's so meditative. You're just focused on this one task, just painting the figure or following the instructions and building something. It's so nice. So that's that. So have you seen anything over the last week that you want to share with us and talk about?
I don't know if I want to share, but like
Yes,
I have.
you do.
Yes, I have. I think it was the last episode when we both agreed that I need to start watching some better films, Graham. So I took that assignment in the spirit that it was given and went out and watched The Equalizer 3.
No, I did the same, don't worry.
Oh, mate, have you seen it as well?
But I saw it at the cinema. Yeah.
It was genuinely hilariously bad at times. I laughed out loud. I think it all started. So anyway, right, look, the Equalizer, whatever his name is, Mr. Equal, he comes, we meet him.
What is his name?
I don't know. I genuinely... McCall.
McCall.
Okay, sounds like a
Robert
crow
McCall?
shouting for his friends.
Yeah. Robert McCall.
Okay, so Robert McCall, great pick up there, man. He didn't consult Google then, guys. That was from the brain. That was very impressive. So McCall, we open on him taking out some drug lord somewhere in Italy for some reason. We don't know why. He does his watch thing where he checks his watch and says, oh, if I were you, I'd speed up this bad guy's speech because I'm going to kill everyone. Here's how I'm going to do it. And then presses beep and then goes, blah, 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 blah. And
Yes.
And from the very, I think from that, he kicks someone's leg out, he stands up, he gets his magnum, he shoves a magnum through a man's head, and then he turns holding the man and the magnum and shoots someone through the man's head with the magnum.
This is a gun, not an ice lolly.
Yes.
Just to be clear. I mean, he is in Italy, but brain freeze, smash. There's no wisecracking.
No, it's all very po-faced, it's all very violent. And anyway, we don't know why he's here. He gets shot at this at the winery that he's doing all of this killing in, and then he gets taken by some friendly locals into a town around the Sorrento coast, and he's like brought back. He's healed by the village doctor, basically. And the minute that I knew we were in trouble was when the film started. But the minute when I knew we were in trouble, when the village doctor leans over and he's like, "Are you a good man?" And like Denzel says, like, "I don't know," or something. And then you get to the next scene when Denzel's like, "Why are you doing this for me? Why haven't you called the police? Why are you protecting me? Why did you save me?" And the guy looks at him and goes, "When you were in here, when you were brought in, I asked you, are you a good man? And you said, I don't know. Only a good man would say I don't know to that question." I was like, well, no, it's a man who's shot. Only a guy who's trying to like get away with the fact he was shot for a nefarious reason would say this. What are you talking about, man? And it just goes on to be this. It looks like Denzel's on holiday. Him and Antoine are having a lovely time. He ingratiates himself with the locals. You get a montage of him.
Very quickly.
Dude, and the way that he is told that he is like, he's accepted is amazing. Like, you have this little montage of him like going to fruit stalls and picking up tomatoes and going like, "Malta bear, mate."
Is this the bit I think it is?
And then you get them, I think they're screening Roman Holiday on like the town square.
Sounds about
and it's
right.
this big old, like this lovely montage of him being, I love this place, I'm going to retire here. And then right at the end of this montage, a little old lady sort of like comes up dressed in like this sort of shawl, and she's holding this perfect lemon with like a little twig and a little lemon leaf on it, and she just gives it to Denzel, and the lady Denzel sat with turns to him and goes, "You're one of us now."
It's got a lemon. That's his initiation.
Like what? Is this the old lemon-giving lady who only does this to people accepted in the village? Like, what is going on
How
here,
often
man?
has she done this? Like, because they're all like fifth generation, or like they've always been waiting for this one.
Yeah, she is the keeper of the town lemon, and this is her one job.
The bit in that film that made me laugh out, and I had to stifle my laugh because no one else laughed in the cinema, and I didn't want to be that guy. Because it's not a joke, but I find it hilarious. Obviously, he strikes up a relation, well, not a kind of a connection with a woman who runs.
Pretty platonic.
It's pretty platonic, but there could be something there. It's nice. And she says she's works in a restaurant. She says, "Let me take you for a walk." Firstly, she says, "Let me take you for a walk and show you some real Italian food or whatever." Like, "Are you not already serving this? This is a bad review of your own restaurant. This is weird." So they go for a little lovely stroll along the port And they walk through this beautiful market, and there's all these stalls selling lots of traditional, lovely food. And he walks past and he says, "What's that?" And she says, "Octopus." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm salivating right now." And but she says, "This is where I wanted to take you to." And she literally buys him a kebab. And it's got the big like elephant leg kebab thing that this dude. And I'm like, "That's the best date ever." Buys him a kebab. What a night out.
Yeah.
What a night out.
And it's
so
just
good.
it was entertaining. I was entertained like for reasons all through it. You get little dots of this complete idiocy, I guess, man. So yeah, I watched that. And then, but to cleanse my palate slightly, I did watch The Evil Dead Rise, which was a far more successful film. I was
it's not bad.
Actually pretty impressed. And we talked about Voyage of the Demeter, I think the week before last. And we said very small location. It was way too long. They did nothing with the characters. I feel like The Evil Dead Rise really small location, did quite a lot with the characters, did a lot with the set pieces, had some fantastic gore, loads of tension, some really nice creepy bits. I was pretty impressed, actually.
Could have been a bit funnier if you're going for the Evil Dead kind of thing. It could have been a bit more funny.
I completely agree.
There's one bit that's very much an Evil Dead gag with the eyeball.
And the
but
choking.
It just stood out a little bit too much, like compared to
because
the
it felt like a nostalgia
yeah.
thing, just a box ticking exercise, man. I
liked that it wasn't in a cabin in the woods. I thought that was quite fresh. But they treated it. They used the space. It's set in I should explain, or we should explain. It's set in like the 14th floor of a high rise that's been evacuated due to a power cut or something like that.
Yeah, there's an earthquake, a mini earthquake that reveals the Book of the Dead that's buried underneath this apartment block, and calamity ensues.
They're trapped up there because the elevator's out and the stairs have collapsed.
Yeah.
So they're just on this one floor. There's basically just this apartment and a corridor, but they really use the space very inventively, very well to get a lot of set pieces out of it. So it's really well put together film.
So yeah, I can give that a 2 thumbs up, actually. Really good horror movie.
Oh, well done.
Yeah.
Well done. Nice.
Have you got anything else, any other watches under the belt, my man?
This week I did a double bill, not at the cinema, one at the cinema, one at home. But they're thematically a double bill. I watched 99 Homes on Netflix, which is a film with Andrew Garfield and Michael Shannon. Just came out about the fallout of the financial crash in 2008. So this takes place around about 2010, I guess, in Florida, and it's basically about how everybody just lost all their homes. And Michael Shannon plays a real estate broker who just goes around repossessing everybody's homes and turfing them out. And he uses his slippery reptilian ways to steal from the banks. And Andrew Garfield plays one of the evicted tenants who's needs to put bread on the table for his family, so ends up actually working for Michael Shannon, and we have his kind of rise to become his right-hand man. It's really, Andrew Garfield and Michael Shannon are both, Laura Dern's in it as well, fantastic performances across the board.
That's a great cast right there, man.
Well written, very snappy and heartfelt. And I think you can tell when they have the montages of people getting their notices of eviction and stuff, they're either true accounts of verbatim that have been acted really well, or they've got the people who were evicted to portray those scenes.
Kind of like Up in the Air when they were doing the firing scenes.
Yes. Okay. It felt very similar. It's really hard-hitting, very well performed. It's got a great ending, quite ambiguous ending in a way, but very, very good. So I saw that, and then the next day I saw Dumb Money in the cinema, which was very good.
Are we like Big Short territory? Is that where we're looking?
I really, really, really like Big Short, but it's not quite up there for me. It's much more of a heist type film in an us versus them, David Goliath kind of thing. It's got a heist energy, whereby the people of Wall Street Bets and the Reddit forum and stuff are collectively preventing the short stop or whatever it is, so that GameStop stocks don't just keep rising. Sorry, so the hedge fund managers who are betting against it lose billions while they make thousands each. Yeah. But it's really good with central performances. Doesn't quite have the anger and the frustration and the bewilderment as to how this could have happened as The Big Short does. But it's still got a bit of anger in there. It's got some lovely performances, especially by Paul Dano, as always. He's fantastic.
He's always good value. whatever he does.
A nice angry double bill with 99 Homes to see how the rich stay rich and profit even more from these awful
Schemes and systems that are in place to allow them to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I do recommend, if you want an angry watch, I recommend both 99 Homes and Dumb Money.
Well, shall we turn that into a triple bill and put like falling down at the end? So that's your reaction to the insanity of the system?
Sure. Although he's more angry that he can't get breakfast at 11 minutes, 2 minutes, but he's more angry about anything. Yeah. I think falling down might do a nice double bill with Fight Club or something.
Yes, yeah, absolutely would. And what was the Russell Crowe? The dry when he's
Unhinged.
Hinged. Thank you. I was like, all I could think was Unbreakable. Unhinged.
So you do Unhinged and Changing Lanes as like the road rage movies.
Yeah,
So maybe
yeah.
maybe the Hitcher, or like you'll do Duel, Unhinged and Changing Lanes as a angry driver, triple bill, pissed off. You messed with the wrong person on the highway.
Nice one. We might have a few more of these coming off this episode, guys. Keep your ears peeled for some. Well, as we can't project on the Mind Cinema for the upcoming couple of months, we don't worry. We've got your back. We've got some recommendations for some thematic film marathons you can do.
Yeah, we do like a little movie marathon that's thematically linked. I know that we've done movie marathons before with one of our dear friends when the theme might just be something just quite as broad as desert. It just has to be set in a desert, and that is it.
Yep.
Or we have, Man Against Nature, for example.
Dude, well,
Which
you're
is always a
reading
good
my
one.
mind here, man, because I have genuinely got a triple bill to give you guys at some point, man, like of the man
Oh, let's
versus
do it
nature.
now. Well, it's fresh in our minds. Man versus nature.
So, man versus nature. What jumps to mind, man? I'm thinking The Edge with Anthony Hopkins and Alec Baldwin.
Yep.
Ghost in the Darkness.
Yes, I mean, it's an animal. But that's nature. That's
But
fine.
yeah, that's it. Like that's bears, nature, animal. The Grey is one of my favourites of the genre because I just thought that was absolutely insanely masterful.
I quite liked that film. I can't remember the name. I mean, it's not great, but for this theme, it's quite good. It's a recent one with Zac Efron where he and some dude find a
Gold.
big lump of... Is it just called gold?
Gold, yep.
They find a massive half-buried nugget of gold in the outback, and one has to stay to kind of protect it, and the other one goes to get help. And the majority of the film is just Zac Efron sat by this lump of gold in the outback, and he just has to survive. It's great. I would have The Grey. I'd have All Is Lost.
Great shout.
You can't really do a land, sea, and air, can you?
An Airport 77.
Airport 77. Or Twister. There you go, some wind.
I think that's a great little left field shout, yes.
There you go.
Wicked.
I mean, they do seek it out, so...
They're asking
I'm not
for
sure
trouble,
how
man.
much-
Yeah,
they're
but I
asking
mean,
for-
Jaws, that's all they do in Jaws as well.
Yeah,
like,
there's a reason why they do it. That's not Fortune and Glory like it is in
no,
Twister.
that's true.
It's
They
better.
are getting sort of like, they're stopping the shark from eating more people, which is pretty valid.
Cool. All right. That was our little triple bill.
So we're going to get to a couple of alternative pitches in a second, I reckon.
Let's
man.
do that. Yeah, why not?
So yeah, let's have. Is there any other sort of alternative pitches that we cut out, or we've missed out, or we haven't got round to, man, that you'd like to like to hit us with?
I always find it interesting when I'm coming up with a story, whether I follow my instincts and go with the first idea that I've had and follow that through to its conclusion and pitch that. But many times I've kind of gone down one avenue, halted, rolled back, doubted myself, pushed on and got something out there.
Yep.
Or I've doubted myself and I've pivoted, or an idea has sprung something else and I've gone completely the other way. So I always find that development process quite interesting. Having that belief in yourself, I guess, that it's okay to change your mind, or it's okay to push forward.
Or to trust yourself.
Or to trust yourself,
Yeah.
and knowing that you can find your way through. I find that an eternal struggle, but it's one that I quite enjoy. So only a few weeks ago, I pitched a film called Fair Dinkum,
Yes, indeed.
the Australian family drama about the cattle drovers. But before I got to that, I found out that in a lesser seen Disney TV series based upon Dumbo, there was a character called Fair Dinkum who was a koala. The koala Fair Dinkum was the ringmaster in Dumbo's own little travelling circus. And it was called Fair Dinkum. Not a lot of people
Right.
know this, apparently.
No, yeah, dude, you're blowing my mind here.
Fair Dinkum had a a family had a brother called Dinkum, which I believe is a better name than Fair Dinkum. But yeah, Dinkum, there's Ma and Pa Dinkum. He had loads of brothers and sisters that all rhymed with Dinkum. He's the only one that didn't rhyme with Dinkum. He's just Fair Dinkum.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do like a Disney film, but I wanted to do something that's maybe slightly more surreal, slightly darker, a bit like one of my touchstones was a really lovely animated film. I think it's by DreamWorks called Rango.
Yeah, that was excellent. Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. It was really weird, and off the wall, the characters weren't cutesy and stuff like that. They were kind of haggard and strange looking. So I started developing an idea for Fair Dinkum, whereby in this family situation where Rinkum Dinkum, the older brother, and a few others, they're very successful aerial riggers. So it's set a bit like, I don't know, Cars or something. They're animals, but they have real world jobs and stuff like that.
Yeah. Humans don't exist in this world. Yes.
So, the brothers and whatnot, they work in construction and they work on aerial rigging. And Fair Dinkum as a young koala.
Koalas look so good. I'm sorry, I'm imagining them in like builder outfits, and koalas look so good in builder outfits with little cigars. I'm sorry, I just
sitting on the rafters, hugging the rafters, eating their eucalyptus as they skim.
Great lunch. Big iron girders, man. Yes, that's beautiful imagery already. Yeah,
and. But Fair Dinkum, he's the younger one, but he's got a great imagination and he likes to play and he likes to kind of perform and put on plays and stuff. And maybe the parents are encouraging it, but they want him to grow up and follow the family tree.
You've got to hug the rafter, kid.
But maybe the grandma is very encouraging of his performances and his plays and the things that he puts on.
Yeah.
So then at some point, either he will run away to join the circus, or they'll go to the circus and he'll get accidentally stuck there, and there's a travelling circus.
Well, he'll climb up something to try and test his bravery, and then that something will drive off with the circus, and that's how he joins the circus.
He gets abandoned, or he runs away. So either way, he gets separated from the family, and when he's at the circus, when initially he's blown away by the majesty and the magic of all the tricks and the performances and whatnot, and he wants to be in the circus. So we have him joining the circus, maybe rising up his ranks, stable boy kind of thing, meeting all these weird and wonderful characters. But we'd have to have the magic feather kind of idea for Dumbo, which obviously makes Dumbo fly. So the magic twist in this was that he gets something, magic feather, doesn't matter what it is, but he somehow has the ability to go into people's dreams. And so
we're like Koala Kruger.
It's like
Dude, Graham, mate, like last night, I just kept dreaming about like koalas in safety gear with smoking cigars and sitting up high.
Gonna be late for work, mate. Gotta get up.
Luke, mate. Luke. Blowing cigar smoke, little koala cigar smoke in my face.
Gotta get up, mate, I'm telling you. But he goes inside people's dreams, and with his friends he takes in there, they start performing. The idea being like the outback is like a dreamscape.
Yeah.
And their travelling circus in this dreamscape travel from mind to mind, performing the dreams for people.
Makes a bit of BFG going on. Yeah.
Yeah, so a bit of a BFG thing and the surrealism. He becomes very successful at doing it. Maybe the original ringmaster back in the real world is very evil and is mistreating the animals. So
he absolutely is. Because did he in Dumbo? Was the circus awful in Dumbo?
I can't remember.
Because I was surprised to hear that Dumbo had his own circus.
I think he might have run away to start his own circus. I don't know what the TV series
like he's continuing the cycle of abuse, man. That sounds like a really bad idea on Dumbo's behalf, mate.
So maybe there's the evil ringmaster, and Fair Dinkum, with his courage and pluck and his magical abilities, takes all the animals and goes into the dream world, followed into the dream world, dream fights from people to people as they hop. Success, they win, and they win at the expense of not being able to perhaps go back out into the real world. So he spends his days being an amazing ringmaster of this travelling circus that travels from people's minds as they sleep, performing lovely dreams for them. And it will end with the family all sleeping, his family, and they wake, and as they're sleeping, we'll see an image of all of them. Maybe they're all sleeping together in the same bed.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, koala style.
And he performs a lovely dream for them whereby he tells them that he's okay and everything's going to be right. And as they're sleeping, that you see they all have a very contented smile breaks out.
Smile on their face. Lovely. Lovely.
That was my weird, surreal, Disney-ish Fair Dinkum.
I'm in for this, like, Inception meets Dumbo meets Nightmare on Elm Street. Yes, or Nightmare on Eucalyptus Street, I guess it would be. That sounds absolutely... I love that a lot, man. And when they do the... when they're doing the dream jumping, can they go into the evil ringmaster's brain and like make him see the error of his ways? So he wakes up and he's just like he does a sort of what day is this? What movie's that, man? Jesus H, I should know this. The Frank Capra film. There we go. So he does. He wakes up and I'm so sorry. I delete all of my content from everything for that. It's one of the most famous films in the world. But he wakes up and he has this It's a Wonderful Life revelation, and you get to see him going around with a big animated happy face and things.
Yeah, there we go. But they make him happy and his circus gets cleaned up. And
he doesn't just have a really good... He has a really good dream, then just goes back to torturing lions all day. I've got so much more energy to hurt my animals now after that lovely dream. I love that a lot. That was great. Nice.
Thanks, man. But it got too... we don't have too long to prepare our pictures for the recording, and they do take, for me anyway, they do take quite a lot of effort sometimes, and I felt that one just needed a lot more development. It needed to go. I needed to think of the mechanics of the dream world.
Of dream koalas, man. The mechanics of dream koalas, which is a Philip K. Dick film.
To invent and understand the mechanics of dream koalas, what the dreams meant and why they were doing it, because everything is there for a reason.
Yeah.
The motivations of the evil ringmaster to get this, how he even gets this magic potion or whatever it is, who gives it to him. And obviously I'd have to watch Dumbo again and find out
there's a lot of research when you're starting to attach some of your ideas to existing properties that starts to get messy unless you're just referencing them in a very small way and then moving on, doesn't it?
It became quite unwieldy. But I really like the central idea of a ringmaster and koala travelling through an outback-style dreamscape into people's minds and nightly performing their dreams for them. Could be quite sweet, also quite weird, a bit scary, a bit kind of...
I really want... I love this animation centred around a koala. I don't think I've seen much of that in the past. They've always been like the sidekick. They haven't been the star.
Yeah, there you are then. Definitely get Gore Verbinski back from his Rango days to bring the added weirdness to it. So yeah, that was one of my... alt pitches, I guess, that never made it past the development stage.
Man, and just think of that's such a big chunk of pitch, man, that was just like, get rid of. And then that can be quite...
Yeah, don't need it.
I get so scared when I start to do that to myself on like day 3 of 7 or whatever we get. It's just suddenly like, oh shit, am I going to chuck all of this out? Yes, I think I am. And then you're just like, but that's 3 days of work. I'm not going to be able to get that back by... You get this proper scary doing that. Okay, that was an amazing alternate pitch, man. That was a chunky koala, sorry.
Chunky koala.
Pitch. I love that, man. Brilliant stuff.
No, you're welcome. You're welcome. What about you? Any others from back in the day that you wanted to do for yourself, or ones that I did and you thought you'd have a shot at one of my horses?
I think it was when we did She's the Danger and Liberty Lane, I believe that was the episode. Liberty Lane, which then, speaking of stuff that I thought about, sort of played into Jones Angel eventually, man. And Liberty Lane was going to be like a tale of a community of like off-gridders who live in like a shanty town, sort of like the Lost Boys from Hook kind of place out in Appalachia or the deep forest in America somewhere. Rufio! Exactly. Yeah, they have lots of tree houses and interlinking things. They just built this badass place called Liberty Lane. That's where they've gone. All these like-minded sort of off-gridder kind of types.
Yeah.
But then like some land planners will buy up the forest they're in, and there'll be like a battle for Liberty Lane, and we've got like a Waco-style standoff maybe, and get Denis Villeneuve in to direct it, to get some of that Sicario tension running through all of it.
Wow. That's a good show.
And a slow build, just meeting all of the characters, living with everyone in Liberty Lane, so we as the audience understand how lovely Liberty Lane is. We got a bit of Captain Fantastic, the Viggo Mortensen movie when he was an off-gridder, sort of build that kind of thing in.
Getting a bit of Badlands in there as well when they build their treehouse kind of compound,
getaway thing. Absolutely. And then we bring in, I guess, the government, and we get a massive final messy denouement, and like get
Waco
Austin
style.
Butler in there, Gerard Butler, all the Butlers, Alfred, the one from Tomb Raider, Keith David, Giovanni Ribisi I want in there as like the craggy, self-imposed leader. Juliette Lewis is his sort of right-hand person.
Wow.
And have like a Nomadland meets Precinct 13 is what I was thinking for that.
That would be really cool. I like it. Liberty Lane. Any more?
Let me have a look. Yeah, so we're going back to I went nautical with this. She's the Danger.
You did. I love that pitch.
That was a good fun sort of. I felt the sand in my hair. Sand? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what I felt in my hair.
And we have Glenn Howerton in a billowy white shirt, and
Sean Bean as his second.
Was it Sean? No, it was Clancy Brown.
Oh, it was Clancy Brown. Oh, dude, don't mention Clancy Brown. It makes me so sad he's not in more films. Oh, yes. Sorry,
Clancy Brown was in Dumb Money. He was the dad.
How does he look?
Gets a couple of scenes.
Still like big and amazing.
Big and amazing. Got a bit of motive in there.
So
bit
much,
of emotion
man.
coming from him.
Oh, dude, that's even more reason to watch it. I'm definitely going to seek that out, man. Absolutely.
Difficult for him to play he kind of plays a cuddly dad, but it's difficult with that voice.
He's got kind eyes. He's got lovely eyes.
He's got lovely, kind eyes, but I just think he's going to turn into the Kurgan.
And start like,
Happy Halloween, ladies. All right, Dad.
Oh, mate, dude, like his turn in Starship Troopers. Like, I just wanted to see an entire film around that drill sergeant that he played, or whoever he was. Like, oh my goodness me, so much love for him, man. Must watch Carnival again at some point just to get some real good, solid Clancy Brown action.
Yes. So anyway,
so my She's a Danger. I went nautical, but then I was also thinking of doing a She's All That sequel, where Lainey, who was Rachel Lee Cook in She's All That, she sort of starts to discover and delve into the long-buried teenage trauma of being lied to and manipulated by her now husband, Zach.
Lainey and Zach are now married, but she's got that. Yeah,
she's just like, she just can't stop like, you like everything's based on a lie. This was all complete bull, and I don't care that you stood up at the end during graduation because like that was for you as well. It's all just been about.
Well, he stands at the up naked, doesn't he? Because he loses the bet.
Yeah, and it's like that's just all about you as well, man. Like none of this is like me getting any kind of like closure on any of this.
For the record, sorry to interrupt. I would just like to say I absolutely love She's All That.
Yeah, dude, absolutely,
it's fantastic.
Yeah, this is just me. Taking it and twisting the what's out.
She's All That and The Girl Next Door.
Oh, that's The Girl Next Door. And Bring It On. There's a triple. There we go.
There's a triple. Done. Anyway, carry on, please.
Absolutely in the bag. Oh, of course.
I like where this is going. So She's the Danger.
Starts to sort of... And these feelings, this trauma starts getting unearthed more and more as he starts to play like these funny tricks on her, like, and he starts to video it for his social medias. So he's doing things like getting his friend to call her and pretend he's been in an awful accident. So she runs home and like he's lay there with like fake blood coming out. And again, like his performative "I'm naked" at the graduation ceremony, everything he's doing is just this big performative. Look at me at the sake of her.
Do you remember in the film how excited he was when he was forced on stage and did the hacky sack dance?
Yes.
And afterwards he's like, oh my God, that's the best thing. I can't believe it.
So
now he's got TikTok followers.
Yeah, that trajectory's gone through the roof. So he keeps having to like get like more, because like every now and again when one, which one shouldn't, but one does get involved in the scroll and all of that kind of nonsense, man. Like there's some dude who like when he makes a heaving noise, it makes his partner heave, and that's his seems to be his social media. Is just like videos of him going up when she's trying to cook and trying to like have a nice date, and he's just going like what until she goes what. And you're just like, what must it feel like to be like with the person who's doing things like that? And that kind of... And that played into it. So anyway, Zach is 100% this dude. That's what he's doing. He's just absolutely torching her. And so she starts to turn the tables on Zach and starts to just undermine and unravel him bit by bit by bit by bit until he is a complete quivering and absolute mess. And then she gets the hell out of there and like has her revenge.
Is she doing it on her own social media?
She'll be sabotaging every one of his attempts to sort of undermine her, maybe, or she'll be just she'll ignore she'll keep the social media thing going, but she'll just start to undermine him in real life.
Or maybe she's absolutely rinsing him on like quite a well-to-do blog, like he's got a written blog that he would never go anywhere near because he's all about the funny prank videos. But she's got this anonymous blog that's in the New Yorker or something like, or the New York Times. She's got this column that she's contributing to, which is getting really, really popular. So she's having this, using it as almost like a built-in escape plan. Like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
anonymity, that she's going to reveal who she is or something like that to kind of get out.
Yeah, like Diary of a Secret Call Girl kind of a column or something along those lines.
What it's like to live with an influencer, like a prankster or something like that, what it actually is.
Yeah, living with a prankster in inverted commas. I want her to sort of quite viciously turn the tables and have it start to... I want that. I love films when you're watching someone completely unravel over the duration of a film. We mentioned Uncut Gems recently, I think, in last episode. In fact, I love watching just a character just go through a simple man. The character, you just go through the absolute ringer, especially when it's deserved, like it would be with young Zach, just to see him getting his comeuppance.
This also reminds me of a sitcom stroke drama. It's a bit of both, or dramedy, I guess, which I haven't seen, but I need to get onto it because the concept is amazing. And I think it's called Kevin Can Fuck Himself.
Yes, yep.
And have you seen it?
I have seen a couple of episodes of it, yes.
Okay. So for the benefit of those who haven't seen it out there, the conceit is that it's set up like a very standard Everybody Loves Raymond type or Roseanne type sitcom with like, you know, the sofa, the stairs, characters coming in, applause and laughter. And obviously the husband is an idiot, always getting up to hijinks with his friends and stuff. And the wife is the put upon kind of, oh, not this again. I can't really have to put up with you boys. The very stereotypical thing.
Yeah, like, Josh, is it game night again? You brought everyone round, really? All of this kind of
I've only
typical...
got half a turkey.
Yeah. And, you'll do something, Alice. You're a great cook. Come on, get in there with
that
you.
Horrible stereotypical thing that women in these sitcoms don't have a sense of humour, don't have any fun. They're very
They're the
uptight.
enemy.
They're the enemy, and the boys will be boys.
Yeah.
So half of it's so you go through these scenes in Kevin Can Fuck Himself where it's like that, and every time the wife leaves the set, it cuts to her POV, which is then like a David Fincher style drama, and it's very dark. So when she like leaves the set with the laundry, or like, oh, boys will be boys, she goes into the laundry room, cuts to this darker version of it, and she's like really fucking angry, and she's like smashing things up, plotting her revenge. She's a woman that knows she's in a very toxic, horrible fucking relationship.
Just cannot
get out of it, or really, it seems anyway. I haven't seen the episodes, but maybe I think she might start to plot how she can get out of it or how she can kill him. But the conceit that the two perspectives are shown in two different styles of drama, sitcom and dramedy sounds really great. Yeah. It's such a great exploration of these terrible hierarchies and stereotypes that we get in these old school sitcoms. So that reminded me, like the beginning of that reminded me of that dynamic between Lainey and Zach. It kind of
and that's it, because like the defense of people like sort of bullies and Machiavellian underminers and whatnot, it's like, it's just a joke, you know, we're just having a laugh. It's that kind of...
I've seen some of these videos that you talk about. I really don't get it.
No, dude, it makes me just... I don't know, question... Well, lots of things make me question lots of things, but I find it utterly baffling, and it just inspired me to think, right, okay, well, I'm linking that in with the whole she's the danger.
I had a very, very slight she's the danger pitch when I went super 90s.
Yeah.
Kind of superhero, but not. It's franchise starter. So it was a character called Danica. She's a 1,000-year-old vampire, right?
Okay.
But she's the only vampire. Yeah. And she, for some bizarre reason, I haven't figured out, she's beholden to this criminal syndicate, and she's their number one assassin or whatever. And as the syndicate, even though she's 1,000 years old, haven't worked out the details.
Well, she will have done something to like the patriarch, matriarch of this crime family's ancestors and got herself involved with something back in the day.
And it's about her being this amazing assassin, but obviously always trying to find a way to get the MacGuffin back that grants her mortality, or she finds that her blood is being used to make genetic clones of her, or different versions
do the
of
mortality thing and have they are the gatekeepers between her and her mortality, and they have said, when we created you / found you back in the day 1,000 years ago, we made an agreement that, you know, in 2025 we will finally give you your mortality.
Or maybe she was resurrected 100 years ago, but she's 1,000 years old and she'd been hibernating or sleeping or something like that.
Yeah, they hold the power. Whatever.
She does loads of hits for them, and she's amazing. So basically, it's kind of very much got a 90s underworld feel to it. You know?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. And I feel like we haven't had a good vampire film. It might just be because I'm still smarting slightly from the Last Voyage of the Demeter, maybe. I'm not sure. But like, I can't remember a good vampire film. Like 40 Days of Night is one of the most recent ones that I go to.
That's a long time.
And that was...
Well, I think we've got not long to wait until Robert Eggers brings out Nosferatu next year.
Absolutely. Well, there we go.
So
that
that'd be the
will
one.
absolutely fill my vampire cups. So bring it on. And until then, I would rather like to see an action vampire, because just when you said it, I just got like some flashes of Underworld, and I actually felt like, ooh, like, oh yeah, okay.
Well, I tell you what, I'll work it up. If you like it, I'll work up, and in a future episode, I'll just drop in a fully fledged out She's the Danger
I wouldn't
pitch.
say no, man, because I'm missing some vampires, and Halloween's coming up. It's all I'm saying. I don't know.
I mean, we could do a retro one-shot episode where we pick an old pitch, or I pitch one of your horses from the past.
Yeah, we do a switcheroo.
Or you pitch one, we switcheroo from, or we develop something. I don't know.
Well, stay tuned, guys. That might well be coming to your ears at some point soon. Absolutely. So, dudes, do you have anything else before we start to wrap this thing up?
I have a very, very short two-liner for White Moonlight. And now, much as I said when I did Fair Dinkum, I Googled like Fair Dinkum to see, get some ideas. So I Googled White Moonlight, and it is a slang, it's Chinese slang for someone's first love or unrequited love for when they're young, coming back into their scene, and the person hasn't quite got over it. So, for example, have you heard about Luke? His White Moonlight's just rolled into town.
Yep.
So my White Moonlight would be a kind of wushu, crouching tiger style, romantic, sweeping, epic martial arts thing where someone's lost childhood love or something comes back into their life. Maybe this person is a blind swordsman or something, because we've got to have a blind swordsman in these things, please. Or their long lost unrequited love comes back into this sweeping melodramatic epic with lots of wushu sword fights and stuff. Tony Leung's in it, and Ji Zhang's in it, and all that kind of stuff. Takeshi Kaneshiro, they're all in it.
All right, well, again, I'm not saying I'm going to be expecting this in a future episode, but like, if you can get some wushu in a future episode, man, I would very much appreciate that, man. That's another thing we haven't touched, man. Yes, I like the wushu White Moonlight, man. Brilliant. Yeah. I've got only one more, and then we'll start to sneak back out of the Mind Cinema, guys, and we'll tidy the heck up behind us as well, man. My last one was for Sicilian Defence, man, and this was a kind of...
Oh, wait. Can you just say Sicilian Defence?
Sicilian Defence?
It's a family drama.
Dude, you wouldn't believe how much that drum guy has cost to keep in the corner every episode since Sicilian Defence.
The kettle drums take up so much space.
Honestly, I can't swing a cat in here, man. It's ridiculous.
All right, go on. Give me some more Sicilian Defence.
So this one, I started with Mobster, and then parentheses, could be another adventure for alternative Arsino, who was in the alternative pitch to Arsino's adventure.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So he's sent to jail, possibly right after the adventure that he was in. Maybe we cut from the end of that when it was successful, and then he's
sent to jail in a country that he was like, he's in Colombian jail. Because it's Romance in the Stone kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely right. So him and like whoever else is on the adventure with him, Mr. Arsino, they get sent down. Like the boss manages to fix it so they're all in the same prison or something like that, and then they all get involved in an Escape to Victory style prison football movie.
And American football or soccer?
No, soccer. This will be soccer as well. Yeah, absolutely. I want it to be basically half montage, half normal movie.
So Sylvester Stallone's directing it then, yeah?
Subliminally, yes.
Okay.
And like halfway through, we'll discover they were all sent to the same prison so the boss could get them whacked. And so they've got to stage a daring escape at the inter-prison football bonanza, making off with like, whilst they're doing this, making off with a stash of money, the corrupt prison wardens who have staged this bonanza, and one of whom is like in on the hit as well, have put aside for their gambling that they do at this bonanza every year.
Amazing. So you've done a sequel. You've done
I did a sequel for an alternative pitch. So it's like two factors abstracted from ever entering a Mind Cinema.
So now we have Ricky Landford that is going to go down in extended universe history. We also have Arsino, the Sicilian mobster, who's now doing a Colombian prison break. Sicilian Defence. I'm happy with that.
There we go.
Oh, please work that one out. That was fantastic.
Yeah. I would love to do a prison movie as well. Again, we could,
Yeah, we haven't done a prison movie.
Like,
have we?
I would adore to do a prison movie. That's one of my favourite little subgenres, man. So yeah, it's very close to the heart. And that just about wraps up like sort of a couple of the alternative pitches that I think we've missed in the past for you guys.
I think it does. And it's really lovely to go back and revisit some of these amazing horses that we've been given and the pictures that come out of it. And also just to see the things that could have been, I guess, and understand a little bit about how we go about. Well, I find it interesting. I'm not sure how many people out there do.
Yeah, the listeners shall speak to that.
Yeah, yes. Just to go about how we come to where we get to and what gets by the wayside, how we decide how discriminatory we are in deciding what gets to the Mind Cinema, what doesn't, what stays on the cutting room floor. But some of these ideas I really like, and I wouldn't mind going back to revisiting them, doing some legacy episodes, some different...
Yeah, well, season 2, and just all of these little ideas that we squirrel away end up bubbling up again and ending up somewhere else generally.
That's very true.
Slightly worth it. So
nothing gets wasted. Nothing gets wasted at all. Yeah, I think when we do season 2, I think it'd be a good excuse to, as we said in the last episode, to use different reference points, think of things, challenge ourselves a little bit more. Yeah. Do themed episodes.
Maybe star vehicles.
Star vehicles, yes. That'd be good. Or set one in the 60s using 60s casting. A lot of things brewing. I think season 2 is going to be a series of experimentation for us, testing out the formula, stressing it, seeing what breaks, what flexes.
Yeah, we're going to make a few Brundle flies and turn some dogs inside out along the
pitches.
Way. But,
let's do it. I guess that's it, man. I guess we've just got to say goodbyes.
Say goodbyes and a couple of thank yous as well, man.
A couple of thank yous. A very, very large and hearty thank you to someone who we haven't mentioned yet. And that is the wonderful, incredibly talented Mr. Leighton Johns, who does all our artwork.
Absolutely.
He designed the beautiful thumbnails. He designed posters. He's working on some other things behind the scenes.
Great stuff behind the scenes as we speak.
That we are not privy to release to you guys yet. But Leighton Johns, we'll put a link to his website in the show notes, is a fantastic illustrator and artist. We gave him a little brief. He came back with the artwork, packed it full of gags that we just had us laughing like drains. And some of the things that he's working on for future episodes are just so inspired.
Yeah.
So please check out his artwork. We put the link in there. And thank you, Leighton, so much for all your work and hopefully for all your future
appreciated.
Work. It's been wonderful, mate.
It helped us to build the Mind Cinema, so that's much appreciated.
Yes, it certainly did. Anybody else? I'd like to thank you, and I'd like to thank me. And
I'd like to thank us.
No, we are forgetting someone, aren't we?
Yes, we absolutely are.
There is someone else behind the scenes who keeps the show on the road, doesn't get their dues. They keep the lights on, they keep the programs running, they keep everything delivered on time, they keep the concession stand stocked, the popcorn popping, the soda bubbling like clockwork. The wonderful, talented, the put-up-with-usable Ms. Francesca Clementi. Now, she's been with this from the start. She organises everything. She gets it in line. She makes us sound better than we have any right to sound, to be honest.
Absolutely, yeah, crikey.
She gets it ship-shape, and she always assures that episodes are ready to go out, works tirelessly behind the scenes, and her work and her input and her enthusiasm for what we do has not gone unnoticed at all, and we're very, very appreciative of it.
Yeah.
So from Luke and I, from the bottom of our hearts, Miss Francesca Clementi, thank you so much for all your work, and we love you very much. The manager of the Mind Cinema, I would say. Well, that's it. I think you should lead us out, Mr. Searle. You led us in.
Heck, and so as I led us in, I will lead us out, slowly and gently closing the doors and locking up, making sure that everything's secure and ready to be reopened in but a few months' time, I'm sure. Yeah. And we cannot wait. We're working on some exciting things for ourselves, some exciting things for you guys listening. Keep your ears peeled, keep your eyes peeled, and we look really, really, really forward to meeting you all in the Mind Cinema again really soon.
Take care of yourselves, guys. We love you. Thank you. Bye! Well, there we have it. Another episode of Racehorse Movies is over. We both hope you had as much fun listening as we did coming up with these films and recording our pitches. If you enjoyed this, please share it around with your friends and loved ones. And if it wasn't your thing, I don't know, maybe share it with someone you lived with. Who knows? If it's not for them either, maybe you two can build some bridges over that connection. But if you did like picking up what we put down and you fancy checking out some more content from us, then head over to TheNeverPress.com to take a gander at our novels, poetry and other bits and bobs. Anyway, that's about enough from us. Hope to have you back next time for some friendly chat and barely thought through pitches at Racehorse Movies. Ta-ta!